back to my June video. Thank you very much for joining me, and a warm welcome to all of my subscribers. Today I have got quite a bit to show you. I've done some decent stitching this month, which is good. I know this video is a little bit late, but unfortunately it's just the way that my shift pattern has ended up falling. I have some haul, and I have got, like I said, I've got quite a bit of stitching. Let me just try and see if I can... I feel like I've got a very volatile setup here, and at any time it could just go. It's been collapsing on me literally ever since I've set it up today, and I've also lost the needle minder that I bought, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was getting so irate, you know, when you think that someone's hid it from you, like, ridiculous, but it was under loads of stuff. So yeah, today has not gone without disaster. I started the video and then realised that I haven't actually done my stitch count either, so I didn't work that out, so I needed to go back and work that out. So I feel a little bit flustered, but I'm now on, I've done sort of 3 days of AMs, and then did my second job. So I do 6 till 2 and then go and do my horse and then do my second job. So this is like been the only opportunity that I've had to do this video. I'm on PMs now, so I'm just gonna whack this video out before I go ride, and then go to work later. But yeah, so that's why the video is late. Sorry. Okay, so let's start with haul, because that's usually what I start with. I bought this needle minder. I actually thought it was going to be a bit bigger than it was. I was really disappointed when I got it. So I think it's just because all of my needle minders have been like this sort of size on average, which is like a nice size. And I've got a new project, which you'll see in a second. It's part of my haul. I haven't started it yet. However, I thought this would be really lovely to go with it. Beautiful needle winder. And that's what I received. It's tiny. It's so small. So compared to this, I don't know what I expected really, but it was like a £5. And it's just tiny. I mean, I can put a needle on there, don't get me wrong, but I just thought it may have been a little bit bigger. Yeah, I will use it, but it is what it is. So let's get, oh, I fell down the rabbit hole for buying new patterns. I really shouldn't have done, but Heaven and Earth Designs were having a sale, as everyone knows, and I just jumped on that bandwagon, and I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. It's 50% off, let's just get some more projects in. I've got one that I'm over 50% done. I think they're rock and rolling pretty quickly at the moment, which is fantastic. So the first one I bought, okay, let me explain why I'm doing this on discount. I'm going to do it on, and it might make more sense. So I bought this pattern here, which is an Amy Stewart, which is part of the what's it called, a stitch in time. Now I want to do a stitch in time on a frame, because I am finding it so difficult at the moment with my Bountiful bookshelf, because I've got so much material, and although it's rolled up and it's pretty organised, I just fear that all of the rolled up material is just going to get messy and dirty and just full of dust. It's not like the other ones where I can just put a grime guard around it, because, you know, they're small enough projects. A grime guard isn't going to be big enough for the amount of material that I've got for Bountiful bookshelf. So I really want to do a stitch in time on a count that is small enough that enables me to be able to put it on like a big quantum frame when I buy a quantum frame, because I think that's going to be the only one that's going to be big enough. It's like 90 centimeters in length. So I bought some material, which is like an Evenweave, but it's a 20 count. I've never worked on a 20 count before. I'm hoping it's not going to be too jammed, but the 20 count material is the only one that I feel that is small enough that I can deal with, but Also big enough that well, small enough that I can deal with, but big enough that I'm going to enjoy doing it. I did start this one here on 28 counts, 1/1. I don't know if I've got that here. I do. I just hate it. I just hate it. I think I honestly feel like it is the smaller, it's the smaller crosses. I know you can't see those crosses, and that's great, but that is literally the start of it. And it is great that you can't see the crosses because, you know, it makes it, I guess it makes it less pixelated close up. However, when you're far away from a project anyway, you know, all the other ones don't look pixelated. But I bought a magnifying glass with that one that has a light on it as well. And I work on 28 count all the time, but I normally do 2/2. And I also work on 32 count, 2/2. So I've got no qualms working on the smaller counts. It's just the way that the X's, the crosses are coming out. I was really struggling to see that anyway. I mean, I haven't got bad eyesight, but, you know, I was doing it thinking, oh God, I literally have got a whole pattern to do it in this count and I'm just hating every second of it. So I've decided to buy 20 count because that's the smallest I will go to, because I hate 25 as well, but it's the biggest I can get that will go on a quantum frame. So I'm going to buy a quantum frame sometime in the future. Well, bear in mind that Europe based, it might be cheaper with regards to shipping if I buy it and have it sent to the UK instead of buying it and have it sent to the States. I don't really ordinarily want to buy more to get shipped out there, but you know, I think shipping will be a lot cheaper. So I'm going to do this quick stitch in time on 20 counts. I might start that one this month actually, and I'm going to see how I fare with that. I'm going to see how I go. My fear is that the stitches will look too clumped together, and I don't know, that they will just feel really tight, if that makes sense. But then I do 32 count and that's actually all right, but then I think that's 16 count, isn't it? So that work out to be 16 count rather than 18 count, 32 count, I don't know. Anyway, so I bought the material, so that's a haul, and I bought that design, that pattern. I also bought another Storykeep, Life is an Open Book, but I got London this time because I've got Paris, which I'm working on, and I thought that would be amazing. So this is another one that I've ordered and downloaded. So I've got that one. I have got the full Paris one because I thought it'd be a nice one to do fully. I don't know how I'm going to set these up though. I was hoping that all the Storykeeps I could put together and I could do them and display them together in a frame, but I think the stitch count is different. So this Storykeep is 150 by 355. Now I don't think that the Paris one is. I think that's a little bit more or a little bit less. So they're not going to be the same size. So it's not like doing it on the same count and then you'll have the same piece size pattern so that you can then frame them together. So, and I know that this one, these two you can though. So I bought the bigger Paris one. I bought the full-fledged Paris one, Life is an Open Book. Another one by Amy Stewart. And I also bought the London one. But these are the same, so they might be quite nice actually. Depending on how big they are, they might be quite nice to display them together in one frame, depending on how big they come out. So if I'm enjoying doing the Heaven and Earth, which was this one, Stitch in Time Balloon Day, which is this one, if I enjoy doing that one in 20 count, I might do the other ones in 20 count as well, but I'll have to see how it goes. So the other one I bought, and this is the reason why I got the Bee needleminder, is I was just trawling through Etsy. I wasn't even looking at anything. I was looking at some Bumblebee bookends because I love bookends. And I saw this pattern, which is absolutely stunning. It's a massive bumblebee. and it's absolutely beautiful. I love bumblebees. I think they're gorgeous. So I fell down that rabbit hole as well, and I just bought the PDF copy for that one. That is compatible with Pattern Keeper, which is amazing. So I'm going to do that one on the 32 count. I did start it, stupidly, I don't know where it is now. I did start it on 18 count and then realise it's not a full coverage. Like partly, I'll show you it anyway, partly from going through it, I was like, oh my god, this isn't a full coverage. Why am I doing this on 18 count? Because then it's just going to look odd, because you can just see all the holes. Rather than, and if you do it on a 32 count, you know, 40 count fabric, then it just looks like a fabric from, you know, close up. So that is, hang on, let's put something behind it. It's very light in here today. So this is what I've achieved so far. I wasn't originally going to show you, but I mean, I just don't like all the squares. Well, the squares will come out. That's not what I'm fussed about. It's just, it looks like it's on a cross stitch fabric, if that makes sense. Whereas when you go to the higher counts, it doesn't so much look like it's on a cross stitch fabric. So I started that, and I'm just gonna put that to the side, I think. I don't know, I haven't decided. It only took me a day and a half, 2 days to do that. It wasn't very long, but I just feel like it's wasted time now. Oops, sorry. Anyway, I also bought some more of these babies because I seem to be running out of these. I've got another 14 of them or so. And I also bought loads more fabric, loads more, hang on, let's stop, bear with me a second. I also bought loads more CXC thread. So this is for the Peacock Days, and I've just started kitting this one up now. So I've got, well, obviously loads of these are done. I bobbinate mine, and then I kit them up and put them on these binder rings, which are amazing. It just saves so much space. So I started kitting that up. So that definitely does fit on a frame. And I don't know whether I'm going to do that in 18 count or 20 count yet, but I will decide that when I start the other one. So depending on how that goes, depends on which count I do that on. So let's get into my stitching. I'm just going to do it in, yeah, I think I'm just going to do it in the order that I've got here with these, my wallets. So the first one that I worked on, and I did some back stitch of this one as well, so it's feeling like it's coming to life. I think this is one that I concentrated on this month because I wanted to get, you know, some decent amount done. And then I started from left to right, and I just filled in the blanks for anything that I hadn't done. So the first one I'm going to show you is Winter. There. And this is a cricket collection, which is lovely. I'm doing this one on 28 counts, 2/2, 4 cross, and it's on a fabric from, where is this from? Oh, I know where this is from. I can't think. Where do I normally get my fabric from? Sam at oh, it will come to me. Chromatic Alchemy. Yeah, Sam at Chromatic Alchemy. This is Cumulus, I think, which I think is a cloud actually. So this is on the blue fabric. So this is where you saw it last month. And this is where we are now. Let me see that one. Gorgeous. So look how the back stitch has just brought it all together. Really lovely. Love working on that one. So that one's not going to go into my rotation this month. I won't be working on that one, but I'll be working on others. So the ones that I'm working on now, or I've worked on this month, I won't put into my rotation for next month. I'll work on different projects. I did, so on that one I did about 230 stitches, but because I'm not doing it on Pattern Keeper, I've got a paper pattern for that one. I don't know how many stitches I've actually done, so it's difficult to tell. Which is the other reason why I absolutely love Heaven and Earth Designs, because all of their patterns are compatible with they're compatible with Pattern Keeper, so you can just, you know, count the amount of stitches you do each day, which is great. The next one I'm going to show you is Alternative Reality, and this is a Josephine Moore. So that is that one. And I love doing this one. So when I did the 28 count 1/1 for that new project I've just shown you, I must have done half a day on it, and then I ended up putting it down because I just couldn't deal. So I was getting frustrated, so I went and rode my horse. I came back and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to work on, I was planning on working on Alternative Reality the next day and doing like the other half of the day on that one, but I thought, no, I'm going to work on Alternative Reality, which I did. And then as soon as I started stitching, I was just like, oh my god, I love stitching this count. It's just so much more enjoyable. It just, for me, it flows more. It's not hard work, it's easy, it's enjoyable. And you know what, that's what stitching's about, right? I mean, I know you get a better finish, and you do, let's face it, you get a better finish when you do the higher counts, even though you get a smaller design. So it depends on what you want. Because I do a lot of my patterns for wall art for my house, I like them to be a bit bigger rather than smaller, because if you're framing them, it's nice that people can actually see what your work is. So I then obviously went back to the 18 count on this one, and it was just, oh, it was heavenly. So this is what it looked like last month. Actually not done a bad job on this month. This is where it is now. Bearing in mind, last month I think I did about 27 stitches. Oh, 28 stitches or something, which wasn't a lot. So here we are. Put something behind that. There we go. So that's where we are with that one. I'm filling, let me hold this. I'm filling the blanks in, where is it? This bit here, the first page. And then I've moved over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of these pages done first. I don't know if I'm holding it up too high. All of these done first, then I'm going to move on to the next one, because I'm finding that my work is really bitty and I'm not liking it being so bitty. I like it to be like finished and having a little bit of area that I'm working in that's got stitches. When I see other people's work and they've either done diagonal stitching, or they've you know, graduated their stitching, or they've just done, you know, complete pages, it looks so smart. It just doesn't look messy. And I'm finding that my work is looking messy because, I don't know, just the way it looks when you've got stitches everywhere and you haven't got much kind of full coverage area. So on that one I did 570 stitches, which is okay. I mean, I think that was a day's work, but I loved it so much. I just put on a Handmaid's Tale, which I'm going through at the moment, which is very bizarre. If anyone has ever seen that, it's brutal. But it's something that I'm enjoying watching whilst I stitch. The only thing I find with it, I don't know if anyone else has found this, is that it's always so dark. So I watch it on my laptop whilst I'm on my bed. I watch it on my laptop and I can't get the picture any brighter. But especially when she's in the commander's house with his wife, whenever you've got shots that are in the house other than being outside, if they're indoors, the picture is so dark and I find it so difficult to see it. But that's just me. I don't know whether that's just me or if anyone else is finding that. So yeah, so I did 570 on that one this month, which is fantastic. I'm finding it really difficult to see my writing. I started this video earlier and then I realised, like I said, I hadn't done my stitch count, so then I had to stop the video and like really quickly write everything down, and it's so messy I can't even see what I've written. So my next one is going to be Bountiful bookshelf. I didn't say earlier that the alternative reality is 18 count 2/1. You probably gathered that because I was talking about 18 count, but so is this one. So this is Bountiful bookshelf. This is an Amy Stewart one, and I'm also doing this one 18 count 2/1, and I did 450 stitches around that this month. Around 450 stitches this month. This is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. Let me see if I can. Right. There. Let's see if I can put something up against that one. Okay. So again, working on this side, and working down, filling all the blanks in on down here. I'm just trying to bring it down to make it a little bit tidier. So yeah, so that is the progress for this month on that one. And like I said, like I've got all of this excess material. Can you see here and here? It's just, I'm finding I'm having to put it on this side because I haven't got any material on that side. However, all the handling over time is just going to make it really dirty. So I'm going to have to look at cleaning it, washing it before I frame it, and I'm quite nervous about doing that. I know that there are ways that you can do it, but I'm quite nervous about doing that. Right, so the next one that I worked on was an Amy Stewart Life is an Open Book Storykeep, and this is the Paris version. So that is that one. I'm doing this 18 count 2/1 full cross, and I think I'm just doing it on an Evenweave. Rascal, stop attacking my bed, please. Sorry. Oh, sorry. My my cat is scratching my bed. He's annoyed now. I was going to say something earlier and I can't remember what I was going to say. What was I going to say? So it's 18 count 2/1. Amy Stewart. Rascal. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So I did on this one 255 stitches. However, I think I have miscalculated. I think there's been days where I've not photographed the amount of stitches that I've done that day. I think I've done more because, where's that other needle minder gone? To move that needle minder. Hang on 1 second. Because it just seems like a lot fuller than usual. I don't know. I'm just going to move that needle because that looks really messy. So this is what it looked like last month. And it's the only downfall with these grind guards, they really get in the way. This is what it looks like this month. Don't know if I can get that very close. So again, I'm just starting from the top. I'm just filling in all the blanks. I'm getting them all complete before I move down to the next. So before I move down to the next view. So I'm just going to get all of the blanks filled with this one. Again, just keeping it neat. I have gone back to parking. I know it is a little bit more time consuming, but for me, I just like how it looks when you're doing a parking method. It just looks so much neater, but that is just my opinion. Don't take that to offence, it's just my opinion. You know what, now because I've got the old one here, I've got the 25 count here, which I will finish. But now looking at, it's bizarre, isn't it? Looking at the 28 count and how small those squares were. These squares don't look overly small. you know, the cross stitches, the actual stitching itself doesn't look overly small. But compared to this one, I don't know if I can do this. Look at that. I don't know if I can put these together. What I might do is, okay, I might put that there. Look at the difference in size. That's crazy, isn't it? And actually, I know it looks more bitty. This bit looks more bitty at the moment because it's not, you know, completely done. But you can't really see much difference in pixelation. You know, you're quite close there. You're actually looking at it pretty close. And you've got to, you know, look darn hard to see any real pixelation in the picture. You can see, though, how the size difference is affected by the 25 count and 18 count. So that's quite a nice comparison, that one. I think I probably will finish that at some point, but for me, because I've not enjoyed doing it, there's always something better that I want to be working on. There's always something more important, or there's always something that I'm enjoying more, because I hate working on the smaller counts. Yeah, I just don't like how the crosses look. And I keep saying that, don't I? But that is basically the bottom line. So I'm hoping with a 20 count, it won't look too bad. It won't look too bad. So I went completely off on a tangent, and I do not know if I've told you how many stitches I've done. Yes, I did, because I said that I thought I'd done more. I've done more. However, I've not documented that. So I've probably done more like 350 to 400 stitches actually. So that is that one. And the next one that I worked on was Delightful Waltz. Loving this one, absolutely love this one. I love working on it on the Q-snap as well, because, you know, I haven't got a huge amount of excess material, and it's just really neat. It's really nice. I'm doing this one on 18 count as well. And again, 2/1. Pop that on there. My needle minder for this is stunning. I just think it goes with the colours so beautifully, which you'll see in a second when I move this. Bear with 1 sec. Yeah, so let me just sort this out. So this is Delightful Waltz, and this has been done again on 18 count, 2/1. I'm going to show you what this looks like. There we go. So that one's Delightful Waltz by Artisy. See, this is the reason why I like the bigger counts, because I want to put this on my wall, and I think if I was to do that in 25 count, it would be so much smaller, because even this one on 18 count isn't a huge project, which I'll show you now. Okay, so this is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looked like. Oh, hang on. Put up there. This is what it looks like this month. So again, doing the same thing. I'm going from the top, working down. I've done a bit more. I don't know what you can see here. A bit more in this area here. I think I've done a bit more in this area here. Basically just filling in the blanks, and I'm parking about here, I think. And I'm just keeping it neat. I've gone back to my parking method, and yeah, I think I definitely prefer that method of stitching. So the next one I worked on is one of my favourites. This is, did I even tell you how many stitches I did on Delightful Waltz? 320. I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. So the next one I am doing on 28 count, 2/2. This is a sparkly fabric I got from Wool Warehouse, and it's called Snow, what is it called? Something Snow, I can't remember. But this is the pattern. This is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions, Needle Expressions. Northern Expressions Needleworks, which is gorgeous. I love this one. This is being done with the Alvera Soie silks, and like I said, yeah, it's being done on 2/2 full cross. I did 919 stitches on this one, so this has had a decent amount of work. This is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. Okay, so as you can see, I've done this band here, and I did say to you that I wanted to do a band every single month, or when I'm working on it I wanted to complete a band so it didn't look like it was half complete. But last month I just didn't get the time to complete it. But yeah, look how gorgeous that is, how beautiful. So once we get away from the golds, we'll be coming, so I think I've got a brown after that one, which I'm not completely overjoyed with. Then you've got the greens and the blues and the purples, which I'm really looking forward to starting work on, because I mean, I'm not really overly fussed with gold, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is. And I think that is everything. I was going to show you Peacock Days actually, and this one is Peacock Days. This is the max colour version. Again, it's Josephine Wall, because I love Josephine Wall. So this is the one that I am currently kitting up with all my flosses. So I've got, so I know which one it is, I've got Peacock Days written on that. I put all my flosses in Ziploc bags, and then I'll sit down, if I've got any evenings free, I will sit down after work and I'll just, you know, watch TV and I'll just bobbinate while I go. Quite like doing that. And sometimes I'll do that in the evening when I finish work at like 10 o'clock. I'll come home and, you know, because I can't go to bed straight away, I have to just chill. And, you know, my stomach's rumbling, I'm so sorry. I have to sort of come home and chill and have something to eat, have a cup of tea. But I'll sit on the sofa and watch something, and then I'll bobbinate whilst I'm watching it. It's a lot less painful than doing it, you know, just sitting there bobbinating. If you can do it whilst you're watching a film or something, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. Right, I think that's it. Oh, I've gone through 500 of these things. These are the bobbins, little plastic ones. I buy these from AliExpress, and I bought, I think, 500. Yeah, I bought 500 last time for like a tenner. Yeah, not even £7, and that's all I've got left. So that just goes to show how many projects I'm kitting up. It's unbelievable. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm loving having you with me to, you know, come with me for my journey. It would be lovely to share my, you know, setting up my stables and building everything with you. If you're happy, you know, to be part of that, I can post videos. If not, I will set up a completely different, I guess a completely different channel for that, so that, because I do want to do horse videos, which, you know, you're not obviously going to be interested in, but, you know, developing and building a new structure, a barn, things like that, a house, is quite exciting, isn't it? And sometimes it's nice to dip in and out of people's lives. So let me know what you feel about that. If you're just not interested at all about following me on my journey to building next year in the States, then that's absolutely fine. I will just leave that there. I will put it in its own, well, I put files anyway, so it will go in its own file. So if it comes up, just ignore it. And if you want to watch it, then that's where it will be. So I think when it's a playlist, isn't it, that's on YouTube. So when you go on YouTube, you can look at certain playlists, and if you're interested, then that's where it'll be. And if you're not, you don't have to watch it. That's fine. So that is it for today. I don't know what the time is. It's 9:40. I'm going to have some breakfast, have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to go and ride my horse. She lost her field buddy yesterday. So sad. She had colic, and she just colicked overnight, and the vet came out and saw her and wasn't very happy, but just said keep walking her and gave her some medication, and she kept getting down and thrashing, and she was really uncomfortable. She's 22 years old, and then you know, a couple of hours later, they called the vet out again because they still weren't happy with her. And yeah, the vet made the decision that the best thing to do for her is to put her down. They could have put her through surgery, but you know, she's 22 years old, and I think it's one in 100 horses die on the operating table anyway. It's such a high risk procedure, putting horses under general anaesthetic, that, you know, for a 22-year-old, it just wouldn't have been worthy. And, you know, with regards to recovery and things like that, it just, you know, it wouldn't have been the kindest thing to do for her. She had a fantastic life, and they decided that, you know, it's not a guarantee that if she's fixed this time that she won't colic again. And, you know, as a 22-year-old, really, do you want to put them through that again? So it's really sad, because when I'm riding and she's in the field, because her field is next to the arena, they're always calling to each other. And when I put my horse out first, she calls to Mo, and Mo calls to her. And if Mo's out first and Mo calls, then Hal will be in a stable and she calls to Mo. And it's really sad that she's lost her field buddy now. You can't explain to animals, can you, really, that they've lost their friends forever? But it is what it is. It's just part and parcel of owning animals, isn't it? So yeah, on that happy note, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy this month. Hopefully it's going to be really beautiful weather. All stay safe, please. Try and stay as safe as you can. And join me on my next video. Cheers, guys. Bye.